everybody, what's going on? So we have the Supreme Court ruling come out on the Arizona immigration law and basically upheld the majority of the bill, but struck down some of the other parts of the bill. And now this week also, they're coming out to rule on the Obamacare, the health care law that was built on the Romney model from Massachusetts. What should you be looking out for here? That's what we're going to talk about in this video. Fabian4Liberty, Internet Anchorman TV. So the Arizona immigration law bill has been basically upheld by the Supreme Court, and immediately thereafter, Barack Obama, Department of Homeland Security, and the Justice Department basically said, oh, we're not going to basically work with the Arizona law enforcement anymore, and we're not going to help you deport any of the illegals that you basically catch. And in addition, we're going to set up a hotline for anybody who feels that their feelings have been hurt because they asked them if they're an American citizen and they were pulled over in the act of committing a crime or whatever it may be. To me, this shows that a few things. I believe, I'm hearing a lot of the neocons come out and they're, cheerleading Romney. They believe Romney's going to win and what have you. And, America sadly has fallen into this trap where they think Romney's an alternative, right? That Romney will give them a different direction. Romney will only double down on what Obama has done, like Obama doubled down on what Bush did. There will be no difference. And there's so much elitist writings from Carol Quigley, that you can just break down and read from yourself, okay? Do your own research on this. But it doesn't matter what Congress does. It doesn't matter what the judiciary branch does. Obama will do what he wants to do because his handlers understand we're at a pivotal point in history where they need to seize now. It's like the time is right for the attack by the revolutionary, radical, communist, whatever you want to call them, okay? The fact is that the banking elites and the banking cartels and the very wealthy families have always colluded with the communists because they need the useful idiots to push the revolution, and then they could come in and seize total control of everything. So, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, this is going to be a huge landmark decision for the health care bill. I believe Obama's going to do whatever the hell he wants either way. If this bill is struck down, they will go around the back. They'll do what Nancy Pelosi said. They'll try to climb over the fence. If they can't climb over the fence, they'll catapult in. If they can't catapult in, they'll parachute in. This was when she was talking about passing the bill. And at the time that they passed the bill, there was all kinds of bribery, collusion, all kinds of backroom deals. Everything that we've come to hate about American politics and politics in general went into the passage of this absolutely dreadful bill that is all about really killing grandma, reducing populations in America, and setting up death panels. Now, at the time, they were saying, oh, that's crazy talk, you're a conspiracy theorist, there is no death panels. And then after the bill passes, New York Times come out and says, well, actually, yes, there is death panels, and care will be rationed. And it all comes down to the complete live system, which was created by Rahm Emanuel's brother, who's a doctor that worked closely with the White House in drafting much of the bill, as well as the Democratic lawyer, forgot his name, that worked with Romney in passing Romney Care. He was also instrumental in the Obamacare. So they don't give a rat's ass what the Supreme Court says. Because at the end of the day, there's too many people in this country, too many people at the highest level, at the Ford Foundation, at the Rockefeller Foundation, at the Bill Gates Foundation, that all of them believe that we need to have a healthcare system that's based on this complete lives theory. And that's basically when you're 1 to 10, your life isn't that useful, so you should be rationed healthcare. But when you're in your teens to, let's say early 50s, you're productive. It's, in fact, when you're most productive. So we need you there. We'll give you good health care. But then after 55, just give grandma some Vicodin and a walking stick and she's good to go. No more knee replacement surgery. No more really any surgery. That's what they're pushing this towards. And that's what this healthcare bill is all about as well. So again, I look at these things as really more distractions. I go back to the Liberty Hangout that I was a part of last week, where they had a lot of different people that are part of the Polypop Network, also a lot of libertarians that were on there as well. talking about, Ron Paul, the election, and, how whether or not we can co-opt the GOP party or the Liberty movement can infiltrate the GOP party and take it over. We don't have the time, right? This is all a smokescreen. The two biggest issues we face in America today are not whether or not Obamacare will be upheld or not. Because where does Obamacare being upheld or not stand in comparison to a complete, full-blown economic collapse, banking collapse in Europe, bank runs in America, and the military in major U.S. cities? You think there's going to be a lot of talk about Obamacare or about the Arizona immigration law when we have a full-blown banking collapse or dollar collapse in America? I really don't think so. Those are the biggest issues. In the video that I did yesterday, I talked about the global reset that is coming. It's very important to understand that global resets have taken place pretty much about every 25 to 50 years, right? It's why fiat currency lasts about 37 years on average. We're at 40 years with the US dollar. But there was a global reset in World War I. There was a global reset in World War II. And there's a global reset that is coming now. That's the most critical issue we need to be aware of. Yes, we know the people that are in charge. The majority of them believe in eugenics. They want to kill grandma. We know that, right? They're power hungry. People like Ted Turner want to kill 90% of the population on record. Caught on record saying 2 billion that he wants to kill when he was being chased down in the streets of Manhattan by Luke Rudkowski from We Are Change. We know Bill Gates believes in population reduction. These are the people that are behind the running of our country and really the governments of the world, okay? We know that. We need to look at things and say, well, what's the most important? We know this global reset's coming. What we can do now is wake Americans up. I'll tell you, I believe with all my heart that the alternative media has been instrumental in slowing down the establishment, the politics as usual, and the global elites. Because we've been sharing all this information. We're the ones who broke the NDAA bill and said, hey, wait a minute, this gets rid of Fourth Amendment rights, right? Before, they were just going to pass that, and it wasn't even being talked about. Alternative media forced the issue, and it was being talked about on mainstream, and the American people now, at least some of them, know what the NDAA bill is. It seemed like the Patriot Act. When the Patriot Act passed, and there was some debate by some of the Democrats who were saying, no, I don't know about this, then they got anthrax mailed to their offices, and they're like, hey, let's do it. Today, people are like, hey, wait a minute, I don't know about whether I want this Patriot Act. I don't want the Utah Data Center checking everything I do. It's been alternative media that has been pushing this into the forefront. And we need to continue to do that, regardless of how bad things may get on the globalist run economy. Understanding the difference between your own personal economy and what the globalists are doing, what the banking cartels are doing, what the wealthy families are doing. There's a big difference. But we need to continue to push what I believe are the most important issues taking place. The economy, the deterioration of the dollar at the hands of the Federal Reserve and the banking elites, the ECB, the IMF. The global reset that is about to take place and the destabilization campaigns across the Middle East. All of this is tied together. Immigration bill, healthcare bill, very important. But more so in a politics in a country of maybe 25 years ago, where there was really 3 branches of government. It really doesn't matter what the judiciary branch says when you have an executive backed by the banking cartels that is going to do whatever the hell he wants no matter what. That's my thoughts. What do you think? I'm your internet anchorman, Fabian4Liberty. Thank you for watching. I'm out.